This news report highlights a deepening political crisis in Rivers State, Nigeria, centered around the tense relationship between Nyesom Wike, the former governor of Rivers State, and Asari Dokubo, a controversial Nigerian Delta militant. The conflict arose primarily during local government elections, which saw increasing violence and clashes between different political factions. Asari Dokubo, a prominent figure in Niger Delta and an outspoken critic of Nyesom Wike, expressed outrage in the video, threatening to shoot down a military helicopter. He accused the military and security forces of being used by Wike to oppress his political opponent and maintain control over the state. Asari Dokubo repeatedly stressed that he would not back down despite the federal government's involvement in the situation, specifically accusing Wike of using federal power to intimidate and undermine river people. The conflict escalated when helicopters reportedly circled Dokubo's residence, prompting him to make a threat and declare that he had the means and willingness to retaliate. Asari Dokubo, who identified as a leader who has previously confronted authorities, warned Wike to back off and emphasized that Rivers State citizens would not surrender to what he described as Wike's oppressive tactics. In his rant, Asari Dokubo accused Wike of having betrayed the Rivers people and described his political action as self-serving. He highlighted Wike's 8-year tenure as governor, which he characterized as marked by authoritarian behavior and corruption. According to Asari Dokubo, Wike's political maneuvering had created division and unrest in the state, with a faction of the State Assembly breaking away and allying with the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC). Asari Dokubo also criticized Wike's relationship with federal power, stating that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu would not tolerate Wike's alleged political rascality. Despite Wike's previous support for Tinubu, Asari Dokubo asserted that the president would not align himself with Wike's authoritarian tactics, implying that Wike's influence was waning. Throughout the video, Asari Dokubo repeatedly referred to himself as a defender of the Rivers people, positioning himself against Wike, whom he accused of being power-hungry and out of touch with the needs of the state. He also expressed disdain for the federal government's involvement in state affairs, particularly the deployment of military and security forces, which he saw as an infringement on the state's autonomy. Asari Dokubo expressed confidence that the people of Rivers State would resist Wike's oppressive policies and regain control of their political destiny. He vowed to continue his resistance and urged the public to reject Wike's leadership. The local elections, according to Asari Dokubo, were an opportunity for the people to assert their power and vote for change, ensuring that Wike's influence would be diminished. The video captures Asari Dokubo's frustration with what he saw as a betrayal by Wike, who, despite once aligning with federal forces, was now being targeted by those same forces. Asari Dokubo's rhetoric was filled with defiance and threats, positioning himself as a protector of Rivers State interests and warning that any further interference would lead to a confrontation. The crisis in Rivers State, as portrayed in this report, reflects a broader struggle for political power in Nigeria, particularly in the oil-rich Niger Delta region. Political figures like Asari Dokubo and Wike have long wielded significant influence in the region, but their clash underscores the volatility of Nigerian politics, especially when local issues intersect with national power dynamics. The local government election, which should have been routine, became a flashpoint for conflicts, raising concerns about violence and instability in the state. Asari Dokubo's threat against military forces and his sharp criticism of Nyesom Wike indicate the deep political divisions in Rivers State. The conflict has far-reaching implications, not just for the region but for Nigeria as a whole, as it reveals the fragility of peace in areas where local politics are heavily influenced by federal power. The situation remains tense, with both sides digging in, and the outcome of the elections and broader political power struggle in the state likely have significant consequences for its future stability. I'll play the video for you guys to watch and see for yourself.
I will shoot down the helicopter. I swear by Allah that I will shoot down the helicopter. Whoever is commanding them should be warned that I will shoot the helicopter down. Our people, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. As we are talking,
with the video, I'm not able to bring the video. As I said, the video, that's the video.
Wike's soldiers, Wike's police, whoever, had been flying over my house and my compound in the last 30 minutes with 2 helicopter gunships. I have the capacity to contain them. Nigeria cannot surrender to Wike. Rivers people will not surrender to Wike. Ijaw people will not surrender to Wike. I have the capacity to contain them. And the government knows that I have the capacity to contain them. As I've been containing other people. Let them tell Wike to back off. I am 60 years old. I've never been afraid of death. I've always embraced death. I'd always embraced death. So I am not afraid of death. So all those who are there, when the helicopter is shot down, let nobody blame them. I didn't go and look for the helicopter to shoot them down. I will shoot down the helicopter. I will shoot down the helicopter. I swear by Allah that I will shoot down the helicopter. Whoever is commanding them should be warned that I will shoot the helicopter down. Enough is enough. That Tinubu will hand over Rivers State into slavery. The Wike is nobody. Without this panaflexion, it's nobody. Wike is nobody. Let them remove this thing from him now. I think he has billions. He knows the market. He has bought guns for his men. Let them remove this thing from him. And let us see Go and vote. I will go and vote. I will vote and you see me vote. Nothing will happen. We vote, result will be announced. Chairman will be sworn in and we will see. Chairman will be sworn in and we will see. I don't want to talk too much. We'll not talk too much. There's a military formation in this community. We did not look for their trouble. Your father Madu is a Mungu. You cowardly Igbos. Do you think I'm like you people? You will see the capacity working. They will do until we go and catch Wike with our hands. And then you see our capacity.
My belly sweet me well. See, my belly sweet me oh tire. Belly they sweet me yo genesis yo. President Tinubu is not going to support the political rascality of Nyeso Wike and his followers in Rivers State. The president is putting people like us in a very difficult position. It's not possible with me. I don't like Nyeso Wike's style. I have told him one-on-one. I don't like his style. I'm older than him. He's my younger brother. He's acting like a god. Day before yesterday, when I saw Ingilali, the spokesman, the presidential spokesman, my belly sweet me well. Talking about the crisis in Rivers State. There is no basis for this crisis whatsoever. Nyesom Wike had been governor for 8 years. He has finished. He had one vote. He voted for Fubara. I did not. Fubara had been pronounced by the law, declared by INEC, and pronounced by the law at the Supreme Court that is a duly elected governor of Rivers State. And all lovers of development, all lovers of this thing. Yes, there was a slight misunderstanding. But that is not enough for Rivers, as a Rivers man, for me to be opposed to Semilaye Fubara. Pledging my unconditional support for him to succeed. All of you know me very well. You know me. I don't be anybody friend. My friendship lasts with you as long as you are doing the right thing. I had nothing personal against Nyesom Wike, but I don't like his style. There are those who can take anything for the sake of appointment, those who can take anything for the sake of their belly, those who can take anything for the sake of their pocket. Not me. It's not possible with me. I don't like Nyeso Wike's style. I have told him one-on-one. I don't like his style. I'm older than him. He's my younger brother. Those who benevolent spirit have cracked their kernel ought to be wise, ought to be grateful. But he's not. He's acting like a god. He supported Fubara with money. He supported Fubara with his one vote, maybe the vote of his wife. Okay, because I know that most time his children are not around, so I don't know where they voted for him. Now, what Rivers people want is to just forget about the 8 years of Nyesom Wike, 8 years of the locusts, and look forward to another 4 years and possibly another 8 years of sin. We don't want this distraction. And here's Wike has not told us why he's quarreling. I don't know what is structure. What is structure? Is structure in the constitution? No. So my belly sweet me well. See, my belly sweet me tire. Belly they sweet me yo Genesis yo. You know, we used to sing, my belly sweet me. When I heard the spokesman Ngelale saying that the President Tinubu is not going to support the political rascality of Wike and his followers in Rivers State. And I know that the President Ahmed Bola Tinubu I know is back. The other day I called on Baba Kande, Baba Oshoba, Tunde Alake, and all those people I used to know, Benga Daniel, that I used to know with Ahmed Bola Tinubu. They have, I believe that they've intervened, and that's why there are these changes that are now going on. Rivers State is very important. Like I said, the president is putting people like us in a very difficult position. We supported him with everything. We were abused, we were maligned, we were hated up to this moment. We did not relent. Now, what are the stakes in Rivers State? A group of 26 people decamped from their party that elected them. Their party, their guy is in control of. Wike is in control of PDP. From the recent outcome of the National Working Committee, Wike is in charge of PDP. They left the party and went to another party, APC. And going to that party, APC, constitutionally, they have forfeited their seats. And now a court of competent jurisdiction has declared saying, judges are now being threatened that if you do anyhow, you go see anyhow. Nobody has the monopoly of violence. Nobody has the monopoly of rascality. So if there are two succeeding orders, then the appeal court will decide from court of competent jurisdiction. As it stands now in the eyes of the law, they are not. Before they were saying no court has pronounced, no court. Now a court has pronounced. As it stands in the eyes of the law, they don't exist. There are only 3 legislators in Rivers State, and constitutionally they constitute the Rivers State House of Assembly. They form the quorum. They have all the constitutional requirements because they are the only duly elected and recognized members of the State House of Assembly. So that is the law. We are not going to become lawless. I heard my younger brother saying he will not bow to Baal. How ironic is it? How? See me see trouble. You deal with Baal, they bow for Baal since now. Elijah don't come. Instead of you to follow Elijah, he say you no one bow for one bow for Baal, but you are not following Elijah. Very funny. My younger brother, please stop bowing to Baal. So I am very, very happy that the president had shown. Let Rivers State be. Let there be peace in Rivers State. Let the governor of Rivers State rule. After this year, 2027, let us see the powers of each person. Let us see the powers of each person. Let us see your power. Let us see my power. Let us see same power. Let us see Boma Gudet power. Let us see Emeka Woke's power. Let us see all the people who are talking. Let us see their power. How they will mobilize the people. That is the only and proper way, so that we don't disturb the peace of Rivers State. There will be peace. Let us wait. Those of you, wait for the court to pronounce you. Like I told you before, if you want to impeach the governor of Rivers State, if anybody tell you that you can remove the governor of Rivers State and nothing, tell the person, if you dreamt, tell that dream that the dream is not true. If you go and tell somebody, let the person tell you to go and dream again. You cannot. We will not allow you. Because you have not told us what the governor did. You have not told us what the governor did. As time goes on, Kings, I will talk about those issues. But the most pressing issue is to bring stability first. Seek ye first the political kingdom, and all others will be added unto you. That's what Nkrumah said. We are telling you, we are appealing to you. What we want is peace. It's not necessary for us to go to that. Like I said before, Nyesom Wike, he styles himself as the governor of Abuja. Okay. His budget has been approved by the legitimate House of Assembly. So let us wait when the time comes. Just leave. You said nothing will happen. Okay. Let's wait and see. Since you say nothing will happen, we will see. We're not going to talk too much. When people dare people, when people feel that they alone can take irrational decisions. Pedro, the law is very clear. The duly constituted House of Assembly is there. And the law court has even affirmed it and has asked these people not to parade themselves. So go and ask them to parade themselves. They don't exist. In the eyes of the law, they don't exist. So, all of us who want peace and development, and there is no way we can trade this for anarchy. We cannot trade it for anarchy. You cannot trade it for anarchy. So a lot of these people feel that they exist alone. Their decision is final. And that is what people have made Nyesom Wike to feel. Okay. We are waiting. We are going to see He has all the money collected from Rivers State. He's dishing it out. About the Imbre Judge is dishing it out to people. And that's why he has problem now. It's difficult for him to have access to these monies. And that's what he's fighting. And nothing else. Our advice is very simple. Rivers people want peace. And I'm very happy with Mr. President for taking the decision not to interfere on the side of Nyeso Wike. Let Nyeso Wike be his governor in Abuja and let him allow Sim to be his governor. It's very laughable. An interim order. At times, I don't know the law school you went to. An interim order stands until it's vacated. It's as simple as that. That's why it is an order. It stands until it is vacated. So, the interim order stands. The Federal High Court is a court of concurrent jurisdiction. The Federal High Court is not higher than the State High Court. The Federal High Court of the State High Court are of equal jurisdiction. Equal jurisdiction. It is only the appeal court that can settle the differences in the two judgments. So it is not a precedent for any other court. The judgment of a federal high court or a state high court is not a precedent for another high court, or it cannot take a judicial notice of the judgment of an high court when that judge may have misinterpreted the law, may his knowledge on that issue of law had been insufficient, and which led to his judgment, which led to his pronouncement. So another court will correct him, and it is only the appeal court, which is of an higher jurisdiction, or the Supreme Court, that can say, this is the right interpretation of the law. So until that is done, they don't know. They don't know. Until that is done, they don't exist. And the Court of Rivers State has more jurisdiction over matters concerning Rivers State. Even though the Federal High Court is a court, is a constitutional, is more or less a constitutional court. But the Court of Rivers State has more jurisdiction on Rivers State than a Federal High Court. And in fact, a Federal High Court is even alien. In Sena crime, there is no need for multiplication of jurisdiction. Unnecessary multiplication of jurisdiction. What is the existence of a Federal High Court when there's an appeal and Supreme Court? Why should there be a Federal High Court in a federal Republic of Nigeria? Why should there be a Federal High Court? This is the rofo gro system that is in Nigeria. The Court of Rivers State is the High Court of Rivers State, and it has stronger and proper jurisdiction over and above any other court except a court of higher jurisdiction. Omotocho did not even give a judgment. Omotocho did not Omotocho did not even give a judgment. So don't talk about Omotocho giving a judgment. It's a fake this thing. Kate, I don't know what you call about ruggedity to get money. If ruggedity makes money, go and use it to make money. I am Alhaji Mujahid Abubakar Dokubo Asari, Alawedi Diabalo of the Kingdom of Calabar in Abubakar II. My father is Justice Melford Woodhead. I attended University of Calabar 35 years ago. 39 years ago. And I attended Riverside University now 35 years ago. So please, I don't give any who and damn about what and what. I'm a woman being and I speak like a woman being. I'm an indigene of Rivers State. I speak like an indigene of Rivers State. And I'm a citizen of Nigeria. I speak like a citizen of Nigeria. I am a man who is an unbiased observer of the things that are happening in Nigeria in most cases. But in this particular case, I am a Rivers man. And I have every right to comment on what is happening in Rivers State. It's unfortunate. The creation of Federal High Court is very nebulous. There is no need to create a Federal High Court in the first place. There is no need to create a Federal High Court. All this is a way to take power from the states in a federal state, in a crude unitary government. That's what we have. Because there's already, like I said, a court of appeal. All appeal will go to the court of appeal, which is a federal court. A court of appeal, which is a federal court. All appeal will go to the Supreme Court, which is a federal court. So why do you have Code Section 272, which says that High Court has jurisdiction, Federal High Court has jurisdiction, the same way State High Court have jurisdiction? Is it the first time in Nigeria that State High Court had been issuing restraining order, writs of mandamus, and so on? Your own now is different. Is it not the same Wike that goes about obtaining judgment from different places? Have you forgotten? You think we forget so soon? That we forget so soon? So the whole issues of trying to hold Rivers people to ransom. What Wike is doing is forcing Rivers people, daring Rivers people. He's daring Rivers people. He has all the power in the court. He has this, he has that. He's daring Rivers people. And we pray that it should not reach a boiling pot, a boiling point. It should not reach a point of no return. Because not everybody will take this as nonsense. He's not more powerful than all of us. What makes him think that he's more powerful than all of us? should not reach a point of no return. Look at how the governor just visited. They started crying. I saw Chinda leading people. So if Sim too has led people, has asked his people to come out, will there not be a bloodbath? Sim had been at the receiving end and had been restraining himself. They are fledging. If Sim too today said Rivers will come out, whether those people they will even come out, will there not be a bloodbath? You come to Rivers State and challenge the governor of Rivers State because you feel that he loves the safety and security of Rivers people more than you. You don't care. You believe that, you are going to use federal mind to kill Rivers people. If not Wike believe in federal mind to kill people, Rivers people. Do you think he can? This rascality with Tinubu is in support of me. I have the army, the military is in support of me. The police is in support of me. Everybody is in support of me. If not that, when the 2015 and 2019. And 2019, Wike did not work for Rivers people, please. Show us the area he worked for us, apart from Polisawa that he built in Port Harcourt. Show us anywhere. If that, look, I am in China, and it is a big disgrace when educated people talk. I went to a village in China to visit a textile factory, because most of the textile industries in China are based in that part of China. And they said it's a village. It took us from Yewu, which is a smaller city than Guangzhou. We drove about an hour plus. On the way, in where they said a village, I counted over 200 skyscrapers. That is between 25 and 45 stories. I counted so many bridges in that village where they call the village. Mostly textile industry exists in that village. And I asked myself, where do these Chinese get the money from? I travel by road. Apart from when I took flight to one other city where they saw me with the wheelchair, I travel by road or by train. Because it makes me see the things. As Allah has commanded in the Quran that you should travel and see. Is it not the same resources? We have oil, we have other resources. What other resources does China have that they are building? You go to here, we go to all these cities. I counted on the way, and I did not go to even 10% of that so-called village. That is if you add Abuja, Port Harcourt, Lagos, Kano, and Kaduna, even including Ibadan and Enugu, they are not up to that village. They are not up to that village. I go to Saudi Arabia every day. There's a street in this Medina Road or Palestine. That road alone is the whole of Nigeria. The street, Palestinian street. That Palestinian street alone is the whole of Nigeria. Is the whole of Nigeria. Because the number of skyscrapers on that road, you had all Nigeria together. It's not up to that street in Jeddah. And then over 50,000 Nigerians go for the yearly pilgrimage. Over that, more than that number, go for various umrahs at various times. And then we bring nothing home. We bring nothing home. Electricity, the light does not go off. And then somebody says he did what in Rivers State? With billions? With billions? That is what we want. Because we want that, and that's what we get. It is what you want that you get.
The situation in Rivers State, as depicted in this video, revolves around heightened political tensions and deep-rooted rivalries that have the potential to escalate into violence. The primary actors include Asari Dokubo, a former Niger Delta militant, and Wike, a former governor of Rivers State. These political heavyweights are caught in a power struggle that reflects a wider discontent with political practices in the state and the broader national political landscape. At the heart of the video is Asari Dokubo's alarming threat to shoot down military helicopters, a threat he made in response to military surveillance over his residence. He believes the helicopters were sent by Wike, further intensifying the already volatile political climate. Asari Dokubo's statement signifies not just a personal challenge to Wike's authority, but also speaks to a broader dissatisfaction with the state of governance in Rivers State. The aggressive rhetoric signals potential armed conflicts, reflecting the level of tension surrounding the local government election and power transition in the state. Rivers State, one of Nigeria's oil-rich states, has historically been a battleground for political and economic control. The immense wealth from oil production has made the state a focal point of political competition, often spilling over into violent confrontations. Politicians in Rivers State, including Wike, have been accused of using state resources to further their political ambitions, which has led to a deep divide between factions in the state. Asari Dokubo's grievances stem from a long history of marginalization and disenfranchisement, which he associates with Wike's administration. He accuses Wike of leveraging the military to intimidate and suppress political opponents, thereby undermining the democratic process. In Asari Dokubo's view, Wike's use of state power is an affront to the will of the people of Rivers State, especially those who oppose his political influence. This deep-seated animosity reflects a broader issue in Nigerian politics, where incumbents often use state resources, including the military and police, to stifle oppositions and secure their hold on power. The bombing of the All Progressive Congress (APC) secretariat during the local government election is another critical issue raised in the video. Such acts of violence underscores the high stakes involved in even local government elections in Rivers State. The use of explosives to disrupt political processes further contributes to a sense of lawlessness and highlights the length to which political actors will go to assert dominance. This is reflective of a political culture in Nigeria where violence, intimidation, and electoral malpractices are frequently used to secure power. Asari Dokubo is a controversial figure in Nigerian politics, particularly in the Niger Delta region. A former militant leader, Asari Dokubo was a prominent figure in the Niger Delta insurgency, where he and his group, the Niger Delta People's Volunteer Force, fought for greater control of the region's oil wealth. His past involvement in militancy and armed struggle gives weight to his current threat, as his followers and those sympathetic to his cause could potentially engage in violent resistance against perceived injustice. In the video, Asari Dokubo repeatedly states his willingness to shoot down helicopters, emphasizing his readiness to confront state authorities. This is a direct challenge to the authority of the Nigerian government and its security apparatus. By invoking religious rhetoric, swearing by Allah, Asari Dokubo seeks to frame his resistance as not just a political struggle, but a moral and religious one as well. This can be seen as an attempt to garner support from like-minded individuals who view the state's action as unjust and oppressive. The recurring theme in Dokubo's speech is a rejection of Wike's leadership and what he perceives as Wike's betrayal of the people of Rivers State. He accuses Wike of acting like a god, implying that Wike has become authoritarian and unaccountable to the people. Asari Dokubo's call for the people of Rivers State to rise against Wike is rooted in his belief that Wike no longer serves the interests of the people, but rather his own political and financial interests. This sentiment is not unique to Dokubo. Many political actors in Nigeria have voiced similar concerns about the centralization of power and the misuse of state resources for personal gain. The involvement of the military in Rivers State political crisis raises questions about the role of the federal government in local political conflicts. The deployment of military helicopters to monitor Dokubo's residence suggests that the federal government, under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is taking an active role in maintaining order in the state. However, the use of military force in such a politically charged environment can also be seen as a form of intimidation, particularly if it is perceived as being done at the behest of Wike or his allies. Asari Dokubo's accusation that Nyesom Wike is using federal might to oppress his opponents resonates with broader concerns about the centralization of power in Nigeria. The federal government has often been accused of interfering in state politics, especially in opposition strongholds, to secure its interest. In Rivers State, this interference is compounded by the fact that the state is a significant source of Nigeria's oil wealth, making control over its political apparatus highly desirable. Moreover, Dokubo's reference to failure of the federal government to address the political rascality of Wike and his allies. Moreover, Dokubo's reference to the failure of the federal government to address the political rascality of Wike and his allies reflects a broader dissatisfaction with the federal government's approach to governance in the Niger Delta. The region has long been plagued by underdevelopment despite its contribution to Nigeria's oil revenue. Militants like Dokubo have historically taken up arms to demand greater control over the region's resources, and the current political conflict can be seen as a continuation of this struggle for autonomy and accountability. The situation in Rivers State, as described in this video, has the potential to escalate into a larger conflict if not managed carefully. Asari Dokubo's threat, coupled with the existing political tension and history of violence in the state, create a volatile environment. The use of military force to suppress political dissent, especially in a region with a history of militancy, could backfire and lead to further unrest. The call for peace and the emphasis on the need for stability in Rivers State, as mentioned by Asari Dokubo and others, underscores the importance of de-escalating the situation. However, achieving peace will require addressing the underlying issues of political exclusion, economic marginalization, and the use of state power. Without meaningful political reforms and greater accountability, the cycle of violence and political instability in Rivers State is likely to continue. The video of Asari Dokubo's threat highlights the deep political division and the potential for violence in Rivers State. The local government election have become a flashpoint for broader grievances about governance, political representation, and the use of state power. Asari Dokubo's rhetoric, while inflammatory, reflects genuine concerns about the state of politics in Rivers State and Nigeria more broadly. The federal government's role in managing this crisis will be crucial in determining whether the situation escalates or is resolved peacefully. As political actors like Dokubo and Wike continue to vie for control, the people of Rivers State are left to navigate a precarious and potentially dangerous political landscape. So Asari Dokubo, a militant and former leader of the Niger Delta militant, has vowed that he's going to bomb down the military helicopter if they continue hovering around his compound. He also issued a strong warning to President Tinubu to caution Nyesom Wike to stop interfering with Rivers State policies. This is the end of our news update. I will see you again in my next video.